to the Cracked Soccer Podcast, episode number 40. 40. On today's episode, we'll cover the quarterfinals of the MLS. Yes, they have come and gone. One more game today, but in the previous 2 days, Messi magic in Miami. Absolutely wild game. Vancouver continues to break records on the field and off the field with their fans. Amazing sights to see. And Freese, the guy is an unbreakable and unpenetrable wall. The guy has been lights out for New York City FC. All of this and a lot more coming to you on this podcast today. The Cracked Soccer Podcast. Tap in, baby. Lock in.
Bang, bang.
Boys, how are we feeling, man? We took a little break last week. Much needed break, to be honest with you. I think it was nice to get away for a minute. But I feel rejuvenated for these next 3 weeks. So it should be fun. How are we feeling, boys? How we doing after that weekend?
Horrible.
You know what? Barcelona played in their new stadium for the first time, 1-4-0. Women's Barcelona, 1-4-0. Inter Miami,
Do you think that actually matters?
1-4-0. And
Ooh.
the GOAT with the G, you know? With
The
G.
Tigres, the
With
Women's
the G.
Tigres League and in Liga MX throwing down.
Nah. The only women's team I follow is Barcelona, bro, because they never let me down.
There you go. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're understanding Lopez, maybe what was the reason for having it not be so great, man? What's the objection?
You're gonna make me say it. You're gonna make me talk about it, bro. You're gonna make me feel my feels. I haven't gone to my therapist yet, bro. I haven't even talked about it with them yet.
Let's see.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you can clearly see through Fern's vicious mockery, my bracket is busted. But
Has been boasted.
I had just messed up, yeah, man. I had full faith. I called Cincy, I believe, episode 1. We were looking at them, keeping an eye on, and I had to hold on to that faith, bro. But
Yep.
it happens.
It's unfortunate, man. I mean, obviously, we'll get into that game for sure, but yeah, the bracket is a little bit busted. We'll definitely see if your western side of the bracket kind of follows through. But as of right now, yeah, man, that one's a little bit busted. So there's 2 of us remaining in the brackets, the playoff brackets. You got Fern's prediction, which looks to be very good at the moment. We kind of messed up a little bit on the LAFC win there, but we'll get into that game also. The game that will be happening today, San Diego, and then Philly, we'll obviously talk about that. But Miami looking very strong, very promising for a potential winner for this upcoming season. So this one's still open, as well as mine, which I had Vancouver Whitecaps winning. Another very interesting game for sure, but nonetheless, I think Philly kind of, that was a very interesting story to say the least. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. Those are kind of the brackets right now as we're kind of looking into these playoffs. But yeah, that's kind of the playoff brackets as of right now. But any comments on those whatsoever? Anything that you're like, hey, I would have changed this, or I actually just was thinking maybe this, and we're making it, anything like that at all?
Or one out for my bracket. There's not a damn thing I would change about it, though.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's
Hold
your best opinion, you know what I mean?
I was robbed. Vancouver shouldn't have won. That's all I got to say.
Okay, well, let's get into it, man. For the games that happened this last week, I'm going to go ahead and crack one open for all of them. For the cracked games. That didn't sound like a crack, bro.
I just hit the pipe.
That's what it sounded like. But yeah, we'll get into that game. First and foremost, LAFC versus Vancouver. For those of you that did not watch it, it was a 2-2 game, 2-2 draw in regular season, with Vancouver winning 4-3 in penalties, seeing them through to the next round onto the semifinals and Western Conference finals. So, very interesting game, boys. I'll kind of pull this one up really quickly for just some review, just to kind of get a couple things out. But essentially, yeah, Vancouver wins it. 9 men. It says 9 people on the Vancouver side. But they obviously kind of got it done against Sun and a very, very strong LAFC team. Another thing that was very important and kind of worth noting at the beginning here It was in front of a club record crowd, 53,957 fans. The host played much of extra time down 2 players following Tristan Blackman's red card and an injury to Belan Alboni, which occurred after they had used all their substitutions. So, obviously a lot of things kind of happened in this game, but I'm curious on your guys' takes on this one. I think we also might have had a couple things, a couple little timestamps, which I kind of jotted down here. But first and foremost, first reactions, boys. How did we feel about this game? I think it was, a very exciting game, but curious on your guys' takes on it.
Such a fun game, bro. This was, I'm going to say it, and I know what the outcome is, and I know what the haters are going to say online. LAFC should have won this game. I'm with Vern and his sentiments. LAFC put up a damn good fight in front of those 5,300 fans. It's also interesting that in 2023 and 2024, the last 2 years, LAFC has actually been the ones that have knocked out Vancouver over the last 2 years. So it's also bittersweet, but cool to see Vancouver getting a little bit of payback, getting their own, and ending up victorious in those PKs, man, because LAFC fought to the bitter end.
Yeah. What can I say? I was a bit distracted. I was watching the first few minutes of the game, and then I ended up coming to play Minecraft with my wife. What?
Get closer to the mic.
Do you guys stream?
I'm just kidding. No, we don't stream. It was just something we were doing. And then when you guys were texting, I was like, oh crap, I keep forgetting about the game. I turned it on and it was 2-1. I had tuned in as Son scored his first goal where he was just, scrambling around, get the goal in. And then I don't know if you want me to pull up this timestamp. I do have it up now that I'm going to mention it. But my man did score a crazy free kick. Let's see right here. So he went in with one of these. This is what I do on the training grounds all the time, I taught him how to do this last time I was in LA. So, boom, bro,
filthy.
Look at this. 5 minutes left.
Peep the time, bro. Like, what a time to freaking score that goal.
5 minutes to go.
Cool.
And then, yeah, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you were watching it, Reyes. Were you watching it, Lopez? But that freaking app, that next 5 minutes, I was like, okay, Vancouver's losing because LAFC is all over them. Wonga hit the post twice, and it was crazy. Shout out to Vancouver for braving the storm and coming out on top, because that takes a lot of luck for one, but you also have to, you also have to have the energy to keep fighting. They could make it easy for them, but obviously wasn't too easy. Again, for some reason, it's like the what do you say? Like the MVP of the playoffs is the freaking post, as I've said it before.
Yeah.
Maybe Messi will lose out to the MVP trophy to the post. I think. Yeah. Look, this is 121, but why is it saying +3 now?
That's a stoppage.
But there was +5 earlier.
Yeah, because this is stop it. This is extra time.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I was just thinking that they were. I forgot they went to overtime. I was thinking they went straight to but no, let's see. This is one of those chances we were talking about.
This is it.
See, look at that post. Boom! MVP.
Yeah. Wow, bro. That was it, man. I thought that was it, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to, you guys obviously talked a lot about LAFC, which rightfully so, but I'm going to kind of try to hype up Vancouver a little bit here in this one. But, they looked great in the first half. Vancouver looked very good at the beginning. It was, all Vancouver. You got the fans there. You got, the whole game, everybody's vibing. There's some great goals at the beginning. And then the second half, I don't know what happened, bro. It just all flipped. LAFC kind of took the mantle and kind of took it to them, tied it up pretty quickly with the 2-2. And then, like you said, towards the end of the game, Vancouver's essentially just fighting for their life. You know what I mean? They can't really get anything done. They can't even get into the opposite third. Honestly, the opportunities were just super slim for Vancouver, and they just kind of got away with this one with the penalty shootout. So, incredibly lucky for them. At the end of the day, they need to be able to finish these games. They need to do better in the second half. But, and I kind of agree with you guys in the sense that, yes, LAFC could have won this game, which they definitely could have. But I do think, you need to have Bawanga play a little better in these kinds of situations because I think he was missing a little bit here and there. Yeah, he had some opportunities, but he never really, he didn't get one. So at the end of the day, that kind of sucks, and Son kind of had to step up at the end of the day. He stepped up in the free kick in the regular game, but when it really mattered, the penalty shootout, my boy missed. So.
The MVP of the playoffs stopped them.
Post.
The post.
Post, man. That deep disappointment from Son too after that miss, man. Like he, absolutely devastated. But yeah, sorry, friend, you were going to say something.
No, you're fine. I was basically going to say the same thing. Like, this guy literally dragged this team into extra time, pretty much was carrying the team. And unfortunately for him, it was a great penalty, honestly. That if the post wasn't there, that would have gone into the net. But he after what he held on to his hamstring or something, he pulled it. He was playing hard the whole 120 plus minutes that they played. Unfortunate for him. Sucks, to be the first person to go in to take the penalties, a lot of pressure, especially in an away stadium, and having already scored 2 goals, everybody's pretty much relying on you, so that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Did you guys know statistically, the team that shoots the penalties second on average, which is when a 58% chance, wins the shootout? It's very slim, but typically the team that shoots second always wins the shootout. So if you ever win the toss, if you ever win that battle, you always win second because it gives you potentially slightly better odds.
Is there any reasons identified as to why that could be?
I mean, if you're asking me, it's probably just what we saw today. You have the very first shot, the very first, if you miss it, the morale and just kind of on your team for missing, I feel like that just goes down, and then the other team's yo, we got it in the bag. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that's why, but I think the last time I checked, it was a very slim, 54, 58% win a shootout if they go second.
That makes sense. Yeah, man.
Kind of interesting there, but
yeah, man. But such a fun game. I just wanted to end up by talking about just the additions to the second half of the season, right? With Muller, we've already given them their praise there in Vancouver. Just looking for that silverware there in the MLS. Absolutely beast of an addition, and then also Son, man, 10 goals in 12 games and a playoff race, absolutely nuts. So hats off to these incredible additions. It does make me so much more excited for the MLS, right? Seeing the amount of fans that were there, seeing the talent that's been showcased. The future is pretty bright for the MLS, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very exciting. Vancouver, they're off to the next round, right? So I think, Takaoka, the goalie back there, is doing a great job. Bert Halter's just absolutely killing it right now. Mueller's playing very good soccer as well. The only one that's kind of fallen off is Brian White for Vancouver. The forward. I feel like nothing's really kind of happened with him, which is kind of interesting. But at the end of the day, I think they have a really good chance. Will they play San Diego? Will they play Minnesota? At this point, we don't know. We will find out as soon as that's done, and then we'll probably post about it, and I'm sure we'll discuss it next week. So that's the first game. Off into the next one, which I'm sure we'll love talking about this game. Brent's still frozen. I don't know if he's hearing us, but let's see what's going on. But oh, there he is. He dropped. But for this next one, we do have Inter Miami versus Cincy. Big time game, not just in the sense of the quarterfinal, but it was a big time game that had a lot of implications for the brackets for you and Fern Lopez, which is very interesting because both you guys had either one of these two teams winning the whole thing. So obviously one of you was going to be very happy, one of you was going to be a little bit sad. At the end of the day, Messi and his magic shines with a 4-0 routing in Cincinnati, bro. So Bit of a hard pill to swallow for you. I'm sure you were kind of like on and off on this game. I actually live streamed this game. I did it on TikTok and YouTube. Kind of had like some involvement there, just watching the game. Super fun game, to be honest. But yeah, at the end of the day, Messi and the boys get it done. And I'm sure Fern is very, very happy about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. Moving on. Yeah. So now that Fern's back, we're all done with Inter Miami versus the Cincinnati game. Sorry, Fern, you missed it, bro.
Dang it, bro! I don't know what happened. I literally just lagged and decided to close the browser and come back in because it wasn't reloading. But speaking of Messi, what are we talking about?
All I'm saying is, man, absolutely disappointing. I'm pretty devastated that since he ended up losing. Fun fact, I thought that the game wasn't going to be until like I had the times confused between Philly and the Inter Miami game. So I was spending some quality time with my family out in good old Cache Valley, and looked at my phone and honestly was pretty devastated to see that I had not only missed the game, but that outcome that I'm sure Fern will love to tell you all about it. So I'm gonna pass it over to him.
That's why I asked if we could finish around 3 Lopez so I could catch the game. But bro, I don't know what do you want me to say? They've been popping off. The commentators were making a very big deal about the fact that Suarez wasn't playing and basically saying like, yeah, dude, Suarez isn't playing. They're way better without him. They did not play this guy. Like, I don't know what the commentators had against Suarez, but I do agree with them. I've been saying it for a while that Messi plays better with a more active striker up top where, you know, they can drop down and do a lot of the defending where Suarez is not doing a lot of that. They're basically playing with 8 men and they're conceding a lot because they're not dropping down as much. Busquets has to do a lot of work, you know, in the middle. But with, I can't even think of his name, Salvetti, the Argentinian. Yeah, 19. He's 19 years old, bro. He's been playing really well. I feel bad for Suarez, kind of, not really. Like, I feel bad for him because, you know, he's one of the greatest strikers in the history of soccer. But it does come to a time where you unfortunately can't do what you used to be able to do. And Suarez's body for a while has been telling him he can't do it, but he just wants to keep doing it. So shout out to Mascherano making that, you know, tough decision of benching one of your star players for a 19-year-old that honestly hadn't played up until last game. He made a few appearances here and there, and I liked what he was doing. You know, he was making runs, he was doing this stuff. But like now Messi can play like forward passes with a little bit more pace, and he'll actually catch up to them instead of trying to get it exactly to Suarez. So the commentators were saying that was the big difference. You know, it does make a big difference, but you know, we'll see how it goes. I just feel like they're clicking a lot better and they're playing more in form. And sort of like I was saying with the Rams and the 49ers, you can win all the regular season games you want, but it doesn't matter when you lose in the playoffs. So,
yeah, it's true. No, for sure, man. I thought it was a good game. Like I mentioned, I was live streaming this one, and it was very, you know, it was a very good game at the beginning. I think Cincinnati came out. Cincinnati came out pretty strong at the beginning there, and they were throwing some punches, which was really nice. But then, as soon as Miami got that first goal, as soon as you get that goal from Messi, it really was just game over. Like the 22nd minute goal for Messi was, you know, he set it up and he ended up scoring. So which is kind of wild, you know, 4 goal involvements for him, big time, obviously for Messi. But yeah, like you said, he got a lot of young guns around him, a lot of Argentinians too. So he's kind of building that team himself, which is always very interesting. Allende, Salvetti, they've been playing very well up top. Obviously got the legs, obviously got the energy. And they just couldn't let FC Cincinnati breathe, bro. I will give some props to Cincinnati, like I said. They played a pretty decent game at the beginning, and then they just kind of fell off after those goals. Denke looked to be the only one that really was wanting to give a damn. The guy is very good. The guy can turn like you can't believe. Like when he receives and turns to face the goal, he did it like at least twice in this game, and I just thought, wow, like that's very, very skillful to do, and it's very difficult to do. So props to Denke, bro. He was
hang up the turning banner, guys. Hang up the turning banner. turning champions of 2025.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, like they got shut out. It sucked. They did have some opportunities here and there, but so did Miami, dude. It could have been very easily like a 6-0 game, which is absolutely insane to say. But again, Messi doing what he's got to do, playing very well. Hats off to him. On to the next one. You know what I mean? Sorry to say it, PZ, but it just is what it is, bro.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's kind
I'm
of
not.
sad.
End of the day, life moves on. Knocked out in home, third year in a row, one step short of reaching the conference final for Cincy. Fully believe, like giving flowers where they're due, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Miami isn't looking absolutely insane. Silvetti is, I fully believe, one of the main reasons why Messi signed that 3-year extension. He is going to continue to have fun and also develop this very young superstar there in Miami. So I think the future is bright for Miami. We're going to see these guys absolutely blow up. But yeah, Fern, fuck you, buddy.
Da-da, chi-chi-chi-chi. Da-da, chi-chi-chi-chi.
There's another comment that I wanted to make on this game. Obviously, not too much to discuss, but there was a little jersey swap that happened after this game that a lot of people have been talking about. One of the players for FC Cincinnati obviously wanted one of Messi's jerseys or Messi's jersey at the very end of this game. A lot of people kind of clowning him for it. A lot of the fans kind of saying like, "Hey, you're playing to win this game. You shouldn't be giving so much respect to like your opponents, things like that." Maybe not respect is the right word, but like praise maybe. But then also, if you guys didn't know, some of his teammates were even saying like, "Why would you do that? Like, we were in this game to win. We ended up losing. Why would you want to do something like that?" Very interesting comments at the end of the day. But if you were asking me, like, who cares? Like, you only have one chance to ever get the jersey of Lionel Messi, and like, if you have that opportunity and he's willing to swap with you, do it. Who cares? Yes, you lost the game, but at the end of the day, you're gonna play next season again. So what's the big deal? So I thought that was a little bit ridiculous. Be curious on your guys' thoughts on that too.
He's 19 years old. Is that what they were saying? I heard he's pretty young, at least from the video. I think that's what it said.
Was it Giddy?
I think so.
Was it Giddy or?
But regardless, I believe he's pretty young. Being that young, he probably has looked up to Messi, and he has the opportunity to play against Messi and ask for the jersey. I feel like it's a very common thing. I don't think, I'm not a pro. I don't understand how it is, but I mean, I see pros switching jerseys all the time after a loss. It's not like it's the final. And I mean, I'd swap jerseys with Messi. I'd be like, who was it? Dembele, bro. Like after the Club World Cup, do you guys remember that? Where he took his jersey and his shorts, and people are saying he probably took his underwear too, bro. So I mean, I feel like maybe it's an overreaction on my part. I mean, it's a basic thing of the game. I can't think of any jersey swaps in finals after they lose, but I'm pretty sure it happens behind closed doors, like somebody was saying, like, do it after the game. But the thing is, saying that, it's like, it's Messi. Are you going to have the opportunity to do it after the game, or is somebody else going to do it before you get to, he probably thought of it like, if I do it now, then I'll be the first one to ask and I'll be the one to get it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Any comments on that one, PZ? Anything?
Oh, like you said, this man's investing in his retirement plan. He's going to have a Leo Messi jersey that he gets to hang up on his wall. That's going to be worth a lot of money several years down the road. But again, this player, like Fern said, he likely looked up to him. This is going to be some of that memorabilia that he holds on to for the rest of his life. And again, like, people be looking green like freaking Alphaba out there, man, for my Wicked fans. With envy, because let the kid get the jersey. Let the kid get the jersey. That's my opinion.
For sure. Solid stuff. Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting game for sure, nonetheless. Keeping Fernando within that playoff bracket picture. So hats off to you, man. We'll kind of touch base on this last game as well. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, never mind. I was going to talk smack, but I won't do it to him. I'm sorry.
Say it, Fern. Okay. Just do it. Just do it to me right now.
No, you missed it. The City Boys were in the live yesterday, and I did the same thing. I was like, "Oh, doesn't St. Louis play tomorrow?"
Yeah, that was funny. That was pretty fun. Shout out City Boys, man. They're fun. They're cool guys. Okay, cool. So we'll go into this next game, the last game that that has been played up to now. Philadelphia versus New York City FC. Big time game, boys. I mean, New York City holds off the Community Shield winners. Philadelphia, best team, point-wise and everything. Best regular season team up to that point, right? They ended up beating them 1-0. And if you're asking me, Freese is playing lights out right now. We've mentioned this a couple times on the podcast, but the guy's been absolutely just a dog back there. He's been playing well for New York City. He's been playing well for the U.S. men's national team. I've got one timestamp for this to kind of share, but honestly, I could share quite a few others with a lot of the saves.
Did you say?
What?
Did you say Community Shield?
Supporter Shield.
Oh.
Did I say Community?
I don't know, because I started looking something up and I put Community Shield, so I was wondering if you had said it or if I'm just dumb.
I probably did. I think I even wrote it, so that's probably why I messed it up. Supporter Shield, my bad. Supporter Shield winners. But yeah, at the end of the day, New York City, man, I think they're kind of having like this Cinderella run with some pretty good players that they still have. I don't know if you guys also noticed, but the Martinez that plays for New York City tore his ACL, I believe, in training a few weeks ago. So he actually wasn't in the game. So they got the job done without one of their best strikers. Obviously, they have more weapons, but they got it done without him. So it was just kind of nuts. Thoughts, guys? Anything that you guys kind of saw from this game? Again, it was only 1-0, nothing too crazy, but yeah. Any thoughts initially?
You go for it, low peasy.
Give Matt Freese the goalie of the year, bro. He is an absolute beast. Way to stick it to your former team, right? He used to be a Philadelphia player, a Union player back. So, what an absolute show. I didn't get to watch a lot of this game. I did watch some of it with my pops there for a minute. But overall, like you mentioned, Reyes, not a lot more to say. Getting it done without Alonso Martinez, who was their Golden Boots contender, right, with 19 goals there. So, yeah, way to be a Union Buster, NYS, New York City FC. And
Nice.
yeah, go ahead, Fern.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
My mute button doesn't work. Hopefully I don't say something bad I'm not supposed to. Did you want me to show the highlight that you had?
Yeah, so I just had a highlight because this was a big time, it was a very big moment in this game where it definitely could have gone 2-0 at the end of the day, but go ahead and roll this one. This was a pretty interesting opportunity that New York City had.
I was going to say this because I wanted to mention something about this play. You see that?
Big time save. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, the only thing I was really going to mention on that one was just, obviously this team is this New York City FC team is very, very good. The fact that, what's his name? Who's the goalie for?
Blake.
Is it Blake?
Andre Blake.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he was able to get back and save that was absolutely insane. I think it took him out at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay. He got injured after that, Lopez. He got injured, and they had to sub him out. So, I mean,
damn.
I guess if there's any way to go out is by making a cool save like that. But, I mean, what can I say? I've been talking smack on New York City all year. Luckily, this was in Subaru Park and not Yankee Stadium, or else I would have had to take my my comments back. But you know what? They've been playing well. This was a good game. I'm trying to think. Towards the end, I feel like Philadelphia could have came back and scored a couple equalizers. Yeah. Freese had a bunch of saves towards the end right there. According to FootMob, he was a player of the match. I don't know if he was officially player of the match. I think it was goal scorer for player of the match on the MLS side, officially. But yeah, no, New York City, they didn't do too much. They played really well. They outplayed them. Like you said, it could have been 2-0 had it not been for Blake. But they played well because even though they weren't able to get more goals in on them, the defense played really well. And they were able to stop Philadelphia from scoring more goals on them. And I just feel like that just shows how well of a team defensively they are. Not only defensively, but it also helps having a top 3 goalie of the year because I believe he was 3rd behind Vancouver's goalie. So, I mean, shout out Shout out to them. But
yeah, for sure. If there's one that you can find, I think it's on the 74th. I think it's the one from the 74th minute in that same link. The 74th minute block that Matt Freese had was insane, I thought. It's either the 74th or the 45th. It's one of those two that I thought was just like, I mean, that could have flipped the game very easily.
Bro, anytime I play a video and it's like max volume, it just blows my ears out, bro. 74th minute. I'm trying to find it right now. Oh, right here. I found it.
74th or 45th. One of those two.
I'm gonna play it. I'm assuming it's this one.
Okay, let's see.
If I can find it. Here, give me a sec. That's actually the doc. I did have it, but for some reason it's not in its own window. It's on our doc, and I don't want to show our doc. I don't want the people to know what we're doing.
Oh.
Here, I got you. It's like showing our doc, bro. They're gonna get all the behind the scenes. Look, Lopez, just so you can see. This is him getting subbed out after he.
Sub off.
And then it cuts to this. This is the. I'm assuming it's this one. It goes a little bit farther in after this play. If they hurry up, this one right here.
Let's see if this was the 74th. It's either this one or the one the 45th.
Boom!
Like how?
Bro,
how does that even happen?
You know how low your dick has to be hanging for you to save that with it, bro? That's crazy. Look at this. Look at this one more time, in between the legs.
That is insane, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Look at this. Oh, it hit his ankle.
Wow.
Hit his ankle and then his knee.
I mean, yeah, like you said it, Lopez. Like, give Matt Freese the MVP at this point, man. I mean, it's honestly between Messi and Freese for the playoffs MVP. Like, this is insane.
Is that an actual, like, is that a serious comment?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm not just trying to piss you off for an okay. Which kind of already been working, but like, obviously Messi's doing a very, very good job. But Freese is just keeping this New York City team alive, bro. Like, half saves like those, man. Like, I'm more excited now for the New York City versus Miami game than probably whoever plays in this Western Conference final, to be honest with you, because I really want to see Messi and Miami against Freese. Like, this is gonna be fun, to be honest.
New York City FC beat Minnesota. Or no, not Minnesota.
We just talked about Philly.
No, I know, but I'm like, who's the team that lost in penalties? Oh, it is Minnesota. Sorry. Because I was thinking of St. Clair, and I don't know why I was thinking they had already lost, but they played today.
Yeah. So that'll be the next game. They play today at 8 o'clock. San Diego versus Minnesota is the only game we're not going to cover, just given that they haven't played yet. They play here in 8 minutes. So just kind of depending on how long we go with the headlines and everything else, we'll kind of keep tabs on it. If we can report on it, great. If not, like, we'll
I'll stream the game live. If you don't want to pay for a subscription, come to our YouTube channel.
Do it on a different channel. Don't do it on our YouTube channel. But I guess the last question here for all of you, for both of you, given the last two games, so we have, New York City going through, we have Miami going through, we have Vancouver going through. Out of the three, due to the last game, which one of those three teams are you most confident in that could take the win and could take the cup as of right now?
You want me to answer, Lopez?
I already know your answer, so I'm just like, go ahead, Bert.
You know what? I'm going to say Miami, but not just to say like Miami. The biggest issue with me in the past of watching any Miami game is they're going to get scored on. The question is, are they going to score more than they get scored on? And this is now 2 games in a row where they've had a clean sheet, which I don't think they've done 4 in a minute. So they've been playing really well defensively as well as offensively. So if they keep this run going on the defensive end of the ball, I'm very confident in them winning because, like I say, I don't know, you guys watch Miami games too. They're always getting scored on, So if they keep it up, on the defensive end, I know for a fact Messi and the boys are gonna deliver on their side of the ball. So, and then Rios Novos, who has been the starting goalkeeper now for a minute, who has replaced what's his name, Ustadi, the old guy. So I just feel like this is what this team has been needing. Lopez came into the season saying it's the retirement team of the MLS. And I'm glad that people were listening to him. Mascherano was listening to him because they're letting a lot of these younger guys come in and actually make an impact. And it's working. So, I mean, hopefully, it keeps going well. And I have a very big confidence in Miami winning the entire thing because I honestly think any of the teams that could have beat them are out of the cup already. I was scared to play against Philly. I was scared to play against LAFC. Cincinnati was easy dubs, bro. I wouldn't have even picked them getting close to the final. But yeah, and that's just the confidence I'm feeling.
Right. Yeah.
New York City FC could knock them out, but I honestly think the stronger teams that were in the cup have been knocked out. Miami should be the favorite going into it from here on out because they weren't even supposed to have a home game until the final if they made it, and now they have a home game this next game because they got Philadelphia got eliminated, and not only that, Miami plays really well at home. So this is going to be a very big advantage for them. I don't know if the New Yorkers are used to the humidity, having to shower when you wake up because your balls are sweaty, having to shower when you go to sleep because they're sweaty too. That's a big draining factor going into the game. So I hope they're ready for it.
Okay.
Drain your balls, everybody.
What do you think, PZ?
Two side tangents. First off, that you're confident that there is no other team that could stop Miami from getting the cup.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog is freaking out.
He was flabbergasted at what I just said.
He was flabbergasted. First off, I'd argue San Diego FC. We'll see how they play tonight. Again, here in 4 minutes, they're going to be kicking off. But San Diego FC, man, has been out for blood since the beginning of the season. They've looked good nonstop, in my opinion. Mikey Vargas out there doing some special stuff. We talked about it earlier in the podcast, right, where they're really focused on that right to dream talent pipeline, right, where they're focused on developing the talent from Tijuana and San Diego. So, bro, like the way that this team is being built out, the way that they have been playing, not to go and do a little bit like of a sneak peek, but like Dreyer, right, Lozano, we've been talking about them all season long. If anybody could give Miami trouble, that's personally who I'm betting on, but that's not the question that you asked, Reyes. If Matt Freese can pull off the magic that he has been pulling off against these players like Messi, Silvetti, all the players that we were just talking about, right? If Freese can pull his magic off and really earn that MVP of the season, I could see New York City FC maybe just making that Cinderella run and fighting San Diego FC. But the way I see it going, right, I could see San Diego FC taking it. I'm going to say it right now. That's where I'm going to put my eggs in my basket now that Cincinnati's gone. But you see how my opinions go. It didn't work out with Cincy, but
I was literally about to say, don't trust this man's opinions on finalists.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, those are good takes, for sure. I definitely think I'm like second guessing my winner for sure after the last game. Obviously, you're looking at the Vancouver LAFC game. You're thinking, holy crap, LAFC really exposed Vancouver on a major level, in that second half. So, did Vancouver get lucky? Sure. But, I do think their crowd kind of helped them out. The fact that they've been at home the past 2 weeks definitely has helped them. If San Diego wins, the games are obviously going to be in San Diego, so that's a little bit tough for them, and they're going to be away. But I think, I do think it might at this point go to the Eastern Conference because Miami is very strong, but I do think New York City is a very strong team as well. And I think if I'm Miami, if you're honestly like a Miami fan, I do think you need to be careful with this New York City FC team because with this Philadelphia team, like Philly was kind of had possession most of the game. I feel like most of the time they were kind of playing in the New York City FC's half. Possession was 50-50, but at the end of the day, like Philly had 18 shots as opposed to the 5 for New York City FC, right? So I think New York City FC is very good at that counterattack. And I think that can be very dangerous for an Inter Miami team, which the defense has been struggling most of the season. So if they do get just one or two, I think they can play better defense and obviously hold off of Miami. Potentially, you obviously have that it factor with Messi on Inter Miami, so it could be kind of go either way. But New York City obviously looks very strong going into this. I wouldn't be surprised if whoever wins that game ends up winning the cup, but that's kind of how I see it too. So New York City FC could definitely win, this tournament. Fun fact: they're also the only team that's left that has won it in the past. So every other team that's in the running right now has never won an MLS Cup except for New York City FC. They're the only team that has won it in the past. Everybody else will be a first time. I think for the storylines, it's definitely better if somebody that's new wins it. But this New York City FC, man, they just kind of came out of nowhere. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't. It's so hard. I don't see it happening. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back to their mid-season form here soon. So. Because
yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good game. I'm excited for it for sure. So going into the headlines here, boys, just kind of a couple things to kind of discuss before we end the episode. The big headline, the major headline that's been covering most of the MLS, Major League Soccer here in the States, but just soccer in general in the U.S., is this big calendar change that Major League Soccer has confirmed now for the 2027 season. So for those of you that don't know, the Major League Soccer has changed their calendar year, and they're moving to a more of a fall to spring season as opposed to a summer league like they have been in the past. They will now align with most of the leagues around the world with this change, and this will be implemented in the 2027 season. Lots to unpack here, but just kind of at first glance, I know I've already shared the web page on this one, or kind of the story on this one. So curious on your guys' thoughts. We've talked about this many times on the podcast before. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about it? Is it a step in the right direction, or are we taking this game in the wrong direction for soccer in the States?
The timing makes sense. I think we've talked about the pros and cons, like you mentioned, Reyes, all season long. The World Cup is coming up. It's going to add that disruption there this upcoming year. Things are already going to be a little bit weird and funky. And then going into 2027, right, I think aligning with these European leagues and calendars and giving the winter break off will allow for less competition with the NFL, right? I'm also looking forward to being here with RSL, not having those late winter games where it's just absolutely freezing cold. In my opinion, that's a plus. If we switch over to this calendar, man, I think it's an overall plus. It's going to make things weird, but we got to embrace the pain of change at some point, and I think it's going to be overall better for the long term.
Yeah, for sure. Because look at how it's affecting the MLS right now. They had to take a break off of the playoffs because of the international break. And, that's annoying for MLS fans because you're taking a break from something that should be ending. The final would probably be like this week, right? Let me see what the calendar. Yeah, it'd probably be like this weekend. If they didn't take the break, but now instead it has to be. Is it next week? Is it the 6th of December?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this week will be the semifinals, and then next week.
Yeah, next week. So, the change will help the players a lot because the players that are going into international duty don't have to miss games for their club team because of the international break. A lot of these teams take time off during those times so their players can go and play. And now the MLS can kind of incorporate stuff like that. I know they're having a winter break and is it a summer break as well during this, or was it just the winter break?
Winter break.
Oh, okay.
Like the end of the season. So essentially, the season will start and kick off towards the end of July. It will run from July all the way to middle of December, or the first or second week of December. Winter break basically all of January, and then they'll jump back in February, about mid-February, and then it'll go all the way from February to May. So that's kind of what the the rollout will be. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think there's a lot of people out there that have, I don't know if you guys have noticed, a lot of people have been kind of like, yes, people have been kind of excited about it. They've been positive about it, but there's also folks that are kind of, been taking it back and saying, hey, this is a really bad thing to do. It's probably not the best in terms of like the weather, having to brave those like winter months, October, November, December. It's going to be a little bit tougher. February, March can be very cold in some places. I know here in Utah it's very cold. Colorado, I'm sure it's cold. Minnesota, a couple other places. As a fan, yes, is that going to be a little bit tougher to bear? I agree, it will be tough. But at the end of the day, like, if you're a fan, man, you're going to show up, whether it's snowing or whether it's raining or whether it's sunny. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I do think in the end, this is a very good move, especially, in my opinion, the playoffs for the MLS will be prime time. NFL's over, NBA's over. I hear an echo. Which one of you guys pause?
Is it me?
Mute yourself for a second. I think the playoffs will be prime time, like completely prime time. Like I said, NFL will be over, NBA will be over, NCAA basketball will be over, and it will be April, May of just the MLS with the best time of the year, starting to warm up, warmer months, warmer weather, and then the playoffs start and the finals go. No other competition. So I think it's great. I think it's going to be very awesome to see. We're aligning to everybody else. We're going to make this sport bigger in the States. That's essentially what we want. Does it come with other implications? Yes. So that's now where we go into like, okay, there's some people that are going to say, following this calendar change, do they start implementing promotion relegation? Do they start, alleviating the salary cap? Do they get rid of some of these like DP slots and just kind of say no salary cap, or it's like a very high salary cap where they can essentially buy whoever they want? This kind of opens up a can of worms. We've discussed it before. What do you guys think could be the biggest influencer of like, this is next and it could get a little sticky because of the way we're going to move things around?
Well, first off, I thought that the winter break was going to be not during the winter months. Wow, that's going to actually suck for us here in Utah. That's atrocious.
You were mentioning it and I was like,
no, thanks for correcting that, because now that sucks. I was not looking at that calendar correctly, because that sucks. Well, it is what it is, man. But going back to your question, like in terms of like the greatest like implication, and I don't know if we've mentioned it already in the discussion so far, right? Like, I believe the greatest implication is going to come from the division of like it no longer being the West versus the East. It's going to be them separating it into like, we don't really know what it's going to look like yet, right? But I'm assuming like 4 different divisions is what you mentioned before we started recording.
Yeah, so why don't you pull that up, Fern, if you can, pull up that calendar and kind of continue there, PZ, so you have something to talk to.
Yeah, so I think that that's going to be what's going to ultimately bring the greatest implications here to the MLS, is going to be how are we going to divide this? How is this all going to shake out? And what are the implications, right, for some of these teams? But
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man, because the way that they want to split it up is obviously 5. So you're assuming maybe some sort of a Pacific Northwest, West, Central, East, and maybe like a South region, right? I'm assuming that's why my best guess would be. But it is going to be interesting with the way that they kind of pan it all out, right? Because does the Pac Northwest, like, is it just those 3, including, Salt Lake? Is it going to include Colorado? Or does Salt Lake and Colorado kind of go to the Western? Like, it's going to be very interesting the way that they split it up. I don't know how they're going to split it up. I think there's a lot of people out there that have kind of made some implications and some thoughts on how it could be split up. But I don't know how it's going to look, man. Honestly, it could shake up a lot of things and kind of see like some true powerhouses come into play, which we've also mentioned on this podcast.
Since, the eastern side of the country is so compact that you're obviously going to have this dense section. And, if they're going to, I feel like with the fact that they want to split it up, I feel like they're going to have to add a few more teams on this side, possibly. In this area, can you see where I'm circling? Las Vegas, possibly, maybe.
Keep going, but I'm going to come back to that.
Okay. And just, adding a couple more teams in some of these Oh
The
gosh,
Boise
places.
Baboons.
The Boise Baboons. There you go. Something in Idaho. Was it USL that they're adding a new league out in Boise and stuff like that? We're gonna have a slight conversation about relegation and stuff. So maybe once we go in and talk about that, I can kind of give my thoughts on those comments and how it'll help.
Yeah, so I think the thing that you brought up was very interesting, right? So you kind of were like pointing out, like, oh, well, they need to add more teams, like, then that way the western side of the country kind of gets a little bit more, a little bit more teams, a little bit more people in kind of the conferences. I'm still on it to where I think the MLS and the USL merging is inevitable. Like, I think it needs to happen. I'm curious if there's a map of all the USL teams and where they're located in the United States, because I know there's a team in Vegas for the USL. There's a team in Idaho. There's a team in Boise that's coming. There's a team in New Mexico. There's a team in Arizona. So, like, all of these states that are kind of having, like, these little bubbles here and there that don't really have a team. There's teams there for the USL and possibly even the USL too. So, I still think that it's kind of like the merger has to come at some point. And to go off of that, the USL is doing the promotion relegation come 2027 as well. So when the MLS does their big changes, the USL is making a giant change of their site as well. So yeah, you see there's Vegas, there's the Phoenix Rising, New Mexico United, El Paso Locomotive, and then there's the Switchbacks of Colorado. So a lot of those little, like, in betweens, those could definitely go into like a mountain region, something like that. So it definitely could be done. Again, they're adding that team in Idaho, so that's also another addition. But going into more of the conversation of promotion relegation, yes, the USL is doing it. Will the MLS do it? It's kind of the question there now, right? There was a coach that came out and said, why would they do that? You're a team, you're an owner that invests over $1 billion to get a team into the MLS, only to potentially be relegated the following year because maybe this investment doesn't go your way. How do you explain that to an owner? I'm curious on your guys' thoughts on those comments from that coach.
Sounds like a skill issue, bro. Get good. Go recruit better players. I don't know what we're even talking about here, bro. That's the whole point of relegation, though, is to motivate you to not want to get relegated down to like these lower leagues. So I don't know. Like that's exactly the argument that I would make for combining and doing something cool like that. Anyway, that is just womp womp to that guy's comments. That's ultimately how I'll summarize it.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome to the life of relegation, boy. That's literally the whole point. That literally adds to, like, bro, no, obviously the owners don't want that to happen. So you know what the owners are going to do? They're going to invest to make sure that that doesn't happen, that they're not getting relegated. An example that I had in the Premier League last year, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure this was them. But Ipswich Town got promoted to the Premier League, and they had to spend millions of dollars to get their stadium Premier League ready because they had never been in the Premier League before. So they're spending, like you said, millions of dollars, and more likely than not, they're spending these millions of dollars for 1 year. So maybe they got their money back being in the Premier League, but they spent that money to be able to broadcast to these people that the Premier League has broadcasting rights to, and then they end up getting relegated that same season. So that's just kind of the gamble you're taking, and what makes the seasons exciting on both ends of the field, or both sides of the bracket, because obviously at the top you have the people that are fighting to win, and you have the people at the bottom fighting to not lose money and get relegated. Because a lot of these teams in the Premier League, if you're like a good team and you have a star player and you get relegated, your star player is 99% of the time gonna leave your team, and you don't want that to happen. So these people are fighting. Like, imagine if the LA Galaxy had to fight for relegation this year. I feel like they're like, oh, let's not play Ricky Puig because the season's over already, or whatever, Like, why? Like, if this was if it was a relegation battle, they would not be letting their star player sit out the rest of the season because they're ass. and they don't feel like playing their star player to get hurt or rush them back. But I mean, that's literally the whole point. Like I said, that's the whole point of relegation and promotion is the teams at the very top don't want to lose the money. The teams in the second division want to get up to get some of that money.
If you're asking me, and I'm going to put a pin in this one, at the end of the day, promotion relegation to this coach, to anybody that doesn't want it in the MLS, anybody that doesn't want it in the States, promotion relegation holds the owners accountable for giving a shit about their teams and their fans. Case in point. If you are a crappy owner that doesn't understand soccer, that doesn't understand the business of sports, you're going to lose and you're going to get relegated, and it's going to show on the field and in this relegation format. If you care, then you'll be good and you'll be fine and you'll definitely be a successful team. For example, the lady that just took over the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. Have you guys been seeing her pop up here and there on your feed? She's a very active owner, and she's like taking notes. She's listening to the plays. She's sitting in on meetings. She's making sure that this team is, held accountable to the very highest standards. And if you're telling me as an owner that you're going to invest all this money and not do that, you shouldn't be an owner.
You can't have the, better luck next year. I guess we'll try again next year, because if you have the relegation, there is not a next year. I mean, then you got to go down and then you got to fight to get back up. And sometimes it's not that easy to drop down and then keep going up and drop up and down and then come back. So,
exactly. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens after that 2027 season. But again, I think we're in a very interesting spot right now to where we're going to see it all happen. So very interesting topic there, to say the least. Another things really quickly, just to kind of end on these next 2 points. For those of you that did not watch a lot of games, a lot of MLS games this season, don't worry, because next season, Apple will no longer have the extra paywall for you to watch the games. All you need to do is have Apple TV, and you will have the MLS games available to you. How amazing is that? Kind of ridiculous, but they should have done it from the start. They should have just given everybody the games at the beginning. They didn't, but I'm very glad that they got rid of that. So kudos to Apple for doing that. Thank you so much for getting rid of that extra paywall. I would love my money back because I definitely paid for it the past 2-3 years. So, come on.
2 years ago, I got it for free. At least the playoffs, because they were like, the playoffs will be free for everybody. So I was like, okay, free playoffs. And then this year I also got it for free. So I'm not too pressed. I don't have to pay for it. But I do feel like you said they should have done this from the start, because you have the fans that want to watch the games, which in all honesty is not a lot already. So not only that, but then you're also taking like, this guy just paid for Apple TV Plus. Now I can watch the games. No, you can't. You got to pay another, like $30, $60, whatever it is, just to be able to watch the games. And it's like, bro, like, give me one or the other. Like, at least just like, I never touch Apple TV. Like, I don't touch it unless I'm watching a game, so you're making me pay for 2 things. So I mean, this will be good for the game. Apple will see their viewers go up because more people that just have the regular Apple TV are just going to watch it. I mean, I think the part of that subscription to the MLS season pass was going to Messi anyways. So and I'm not even kidding. That I think that was part of the contract he signed, because it was part of like any jersey sales, a certain percentage was going to him, as well as any subscription purchases. So thank you for paying Messi, Reyes. You're helping Miami get all these nice players. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, I know. I spread a lot of love. I know. I see it every time I get paid. I see it. Okay. Solid stuff. So last thing too, just for a little interesting topic here. For those of you that don't know, we're obviously 3 homies that live in the state of Utah. So the local team for us is Real Salt Lake. And for everybody in the state of Utah, it has been driven on our social media platforms that Messi is coming to town. Can you guys believe it? Lionel Messi is coming to the great state of Utah. Amazing.
The one and only.
The game is June.
April 21st. Just kidding. I don't know what day it is. It is April though.
It's in April?
Yeah.
Okay, he's coming in April. We're not entirely sure what day. But holy smokes. They have made so many promotion videos on the fact that Messi's coming into town and will be playing Real Salt Lake for this upcoming MLS season. I don't know about you guys, but this is some extreme glazing from the RSL side to just kind of like make promotion videos about this. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's insane. I really hope he plays, because if not, this would kind of be pretty ridiculous.
Bro,
but again, like thoughts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if the amounts of advertising that is like Messi is coming, like this is Messi's game, like to what degree is that false advertising if Messi doesn't show up? Like if Messi's just like, you know what, I'm not going to be playing this game. Like, could I sue? If I get tickets to this game, I'm going to be like, I was fully sold that Messi would be here by the Real Salt Lake advertising team. So
to add to that, do you think RSL was like to the MLS and to Miami, like, dude, like you have to guarantee me that Messi is gonna play unless he's injured. Unless he's injured, like if he's able to play, he'll be here, because like Lopez is saying, like it's not Miami's coming to town, it's Messi is coming to town. The way that they're promoting it, like when I didn't even realize that they released their schedule. I just knew that Miami was coming to play because they had a teaser to the announcement. They had the announcement. They had a behind the scenes of making the announcement, and I'm just like, bro, like this is crazy, because obviously if I get the chance, I'm gonna go watch the game. But like you've talked about it in the past, Ray, is how everybody, like, he comes into town and they go to Cincinnati, plays at the Bengals Stadium. If they go to Philly, they go to Lincoln Financial Field or whatever it's called, and that's just the power he has. And I'm hoping he comes to play. I asked a friend, I asked a bunch of my friends if we were gonna go, and one of my friends like, well, I'll go if I know he's going, but you gotta buy the tickets beforehand. And yeah, it's been crazy, because even in my local listings around here, people are like, I'm in search of tickets, and somebody like this was a joke, but somebody was like, I'm selling 3 tickets to the RSL game against Miami for a Lamborghini. So I mean, it is a big deal. It feels a little weird, to have like so much promotion going on. Maybe we'll have they'll let me trade my Messi jersey in for a Diego Luna one, like they did in Seattle. Was it Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah. So
the one thing that I will say, and I really hope if anybody is watching this that's in the city, Utah, Real Salt Lake fan, like, I just hope that for this game, where Miami comes into town and they play against Real Salt Lake, please, please, please wear an RSL jersey. Don't just be a freaking.
Oh, hell no! You already know I'm wearing that Messi jersey.
Ridiculous, bro. Like, that is ridiculous. So if you have an RSL jersey, please wear it. I'll be honest. Anybody that's on the team, anybody that's something on RSL that's doing like content for them, or possibly trying to get people to go to this game, I have an RSL jersey. I will wear it. I will go to this game and promote RSL and not Messi if you give me tickets. So please give me tickets and I will promote RSL and not Messi.
I will be with him. I will also wear an RSL jersey. But under that RSL jersey, I will have a Miami jersey for when they win. Just kidding. No, bro, what game did we go to? We went to the Minnesota playoff game. I was wearing a Messi jersey. I went to the LAFC game. I was wearing a Messi jersey, bro. And somehow every time I have the Messi jersey on, I get on the big screen, So it makes me famous. It helps us. So, but I don't know. Reyes or Lopez, are you wearing an RSL or a Miami jersey?
Bro, I'd be wearing that RSL jersey. Because at Miami, but on the side, I would be wearing. Hold on, hear me out. Here's my plot. All right, friend, you in on this with me? All right, we wear our Messi jerseys, but we go and book a reservation at every fancy restaurant as soon as we know that Messi flies into Salt Lake City, in the hopes of one of us catching this man at one of these different restaurants so we can get his autograph or something. How we gotta do it.
We gotta find the hotel he's staying at and start shooting fireworks off in front of his hotel at night.
I guarantee it's a Grand America that most teams far.
Because it's the thing is Real Salt Lake is not even in Salt Lake, you know. It's in what's Sandy, like 30, 40 minutes down south from Salt Lake, or not that far?
It's more like 15, 20.
Oh, okay. Good.
Not that far,
good distance.
Anyways, yeah, a bit of an interesting topic there.
Messi.
Nonetheless, yeah, that's kind of what we had today. Pretty good episode, to be honest. We had a lot to cover. Again, there's only going to be a few more games. As of right now, by the way, fellas, as of right now, 15 minutes in, San Diego FC and Minnesota are still tied 0-0. So deadlock, going to be maybe one that goes a little bit into, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Could go into extra time, could be into penalties. Who knows?
San Diego does have 76% of the possession, though, so.
Yeah, San Diego is dominating for sure. So we'll definitely see what happens there. We'll probably get some stuff out posted tomorrow around the upcoming games. And then who knows if we have some time. I think I might have some time this weekend, maybe to do another live stream. We'll kind of see how that goes. If you guys wanted to join, so you can get to see how that is. But again, I mean, this has been the episode. So any final thoughts from you guys? Anything looking forward to the upcoming weekend? Sorry.
I'm just ready to see a final in Miami.
It won't be in Miami.
Where would it be at? That's the highest. That's the highest seeded team is in Miami.
They're gonna be in San Diego or Vancouver.
Nah, I don't believe in that.
What do you think, PZ?
I think I just want Miami to lose to ease my suffering and my distress that I felt after Cincy getting knocked out and ruining my bracket. But that's just me being selfish. Overall, I am very excited to go turn on this San Diego game. I'm going to go sit down and actually go watch this. So I'll be seeing you boys in text here shortly.
Okay, sounds good. All right, appreciate y'all. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in, liking, subscribing, sharing, all those different things on the video and the podcast. Appreciate the much love and the comments on the clips, on all of our platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So appreciate y'all. This has been the Crack Soccer Podcast, episode number 40. We are out. Peace.
Lao G.